Hello everybody, Dev here with the Rogue Deck Chronicles, and today I'm going to try something a little different. I was kind of getting burnt out in the ladder, I'm testing, I'm kind of building decks, but I wanted to try something which was this new build and battle mode that they released just with the most recent update on the Trading Card Game Live platform. So, what build and battle is effectively another way of them recreating what the pre-release format is. So it is a format that is 4 prize matches of 40 card decks, and because it's simulating a pre-release style environment, you can have as many of a singular copy of a card in your deck as you get with your kit of 40 cards, plus 4 booster packs, as we see here on the screen. So when you start this round, you will get a kit. It will be one of 4 promo kits for the Chaos Rising format. It can be a kit featured around the Crobat, around the Ampharos, around the Guja, or around the Delphox. All of them have different parts of cards, like the set of 40 that will make it work. And then obviously energy associated with the cards as well. And then you get to open up 4 booster packs, and whatever you pull from those 4 booster packs plus your 40 card kit, you get to make a deck, and then you get to play 5 matches. Now, you get rewards for every single win or loss. What you want to aim for is a record minimum of 3 wins and 2 losses, because then at the 3rd win, you get your token back. And then I'll put up on the screen, and I'll remind editing Devin here to put up the little ratio of what you get per win at 1 win, 2 win, 3 win, 4 win, and 5 win, and then 1 loss, 2 loss, 3 loss, 4 loss, and 5 loss, because you do get rewards if you win or lose. Just the 3 wins is the threshold to get your token back. And in theory, if you go 3-2 consistently, you can build up your trainer points, your tickets, your experience on the ladder here. So it's a really good way for new accounts to really build up their collection, to build up their ladder if they don't feel confident on the casual ladder. And it's also another way just to open packs and get more of the good cards. So like, I don't know if the rates are any better than they are in terms of the card packs you buy in the shop and stuff like that. But with that being said, guys, let's jump in to this build and battle, see which kit we do, and then honestly just see how we go through 5 games. It could be 0-5, it could be 5-0, it could just be something in between. Hopefully we get some good pulls, and honestly, as long as we get good pulls and some fun matches, that's all I'm in for. Okay, so let's jump into a build and battle, see which of the little packs we get, or the kits, and then we'll see what's in our packs themselves, and let's go build a deck before we go into our 5 matches. So we exchange one of the tokens, and here's our kit. And we're going to inspect the deck, and we get the Delphox kit. Perfect. Delphox is arguably the best kit out of the 4, so very, very happy to get the Delphox. So before we open any packs, we get a 4-3-3 line of the Delphox, we get a 2-2 line of the Ninetales, 2 Buddy Buddy, 1 Recycler, 3 Pokepads, 1 Rare Candy, 1 Switch, 2 Hildas, 2 Lilies, 1 Surfer, 2 Waitresses, and 11 Energy. Energy we can keep on adding. We have unlimited energy sources. So let's open up the 4 packs to see what we get. So, pack number 1, we get a Sliggoo, okay. Metang, Skrelp, Zubat, Stuntank, Prism Tower could be good. We got 2 Prism Towers. We got an Ampharos, we got a Chestnut. We have a Cincino EX. Okay, so if we get a Mincino, we could throw in a Cincino line here. So that's not a bad, good first pack. So let's go into pack number 2. Another Vulpix for the Ninetales. We have a Patrat. Not really good in terms of this kind of set here. Octillery, a Gumi, a Felipe, a Ferrothorn, a Garbodor. Quillfish could be something we can throw in for the poison point. Beautiful fourth Sagoo, our second Sagoo, and then a Crobat. Okay. Not the greatest second pack, but we'll see. So Bergmite for pack number 2, a Kakuna, a second Patrat, a Donphan, another Felipe, a great Hallnet. We could probably throw in some water energy and Pokemon maybe. Another Ninetales, that's great. Ho-Oh for this fire deck could come in clutch. And Floette, and a second Cincino EX, but we haven't gotten a Mincino yet. So we have one more pack to try to get one Mincino for the 2 Cincinos we pulled, and then other stuff, and then we'll go into deck building. So we have a Phantom, okay, a Frogadier, a Mincino. Okay, so we have at least a 1/1 line of the Cincino in this deck, and with how this deck loves to kind of just put energy in play and be aggressive, this could be fun. A Vulpix, a Stuntank, special red card, very strong in the build of battle. Deoxys, a Keldeo, which could do some bench stuff. Another Fennekin, and a Dragalge EX. Okay, so these 4 packs, goated, I'll be honest. So out of the 4 packs, we got 3 EXs. So, very, very, very strong packs here. So let's go into the deck building here. So we have as long as we want. So these are all the cards we have access to from what we've pulled. Over here is the 40 card build and battle kit in its unedited version. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a 1/1 line of the Cincino here. I think that's going to be super important to where we're going to be able to kind of churn through the cards here. Do we want to be cheeky and add a 1/1 of the Skrelp Dragalge? Because that poison, the second attack, the Pernician Poison, super powerful in this format. Because nothing's really going to be more than 160 HP. So if we can get the 2 energy attached, it's pretty much GG. And with the Delphox engine kind of churning through the deck, there's a likelihood we could get it, but it's just... Is it too cheeky and too cloggy? Because then we would have to add at least... Actually, no, I think it would make sense. So let's add 2 water, 2 darkness, because we have the Cincino line already utilizing those energy types. And with the Energized Storm, as long as the energy's in play, it powers up Delphox. So I think that's... I'm going to drop the energy down to there, because I think we're really going to be trying to focus on using these 4 cards here for that. And... part of me wants to knock down this Vulpix line here, just because it's not going to be as needed. So we're at 42 cards without adding any of the trainers. In terms of trainers pulled, we have a special red card, so yes, that's going to be added for sure. I don't think Prism Tower is needed, because it's discard 2 to draw 1. I don't think that's really a good idea. And I don't want to go below 11. I think this is a good energy breakdown here for us. So... we have the 1/1 Cincino Mincino, the 1/1 Dragalge Skrelp, 1/1 with the Vulpix. We have to cut down to what, 3 cards? I'm going to cut 1 Pokepad because we added some EXs into the EXs into the deck. And actually, no. I think this is going to be really sacrilegious, but I think we're going to drop this down to a 3/3/2. because we really want to be attacking with Cincino in the Mega Dragalge more than attacking with the Delphox. The Delphox is really an engine for this deck more than anything else. So we'll have 2 Buddy Buddy, which allows us to set everything up, because the Cincino and the Scrub for 70 HP as well. Or what we could do, you know what? You know what? I think after thinking about it just for a split second, I don't want to get rid of a potentially really good late game attacker with a draw engine here. So we're just going to get rid of the Ninetales. I think with Cincino and Dragalge, I think that's enough pressure. And then I think we're good on the 2 Pokepad, 2 Buddy Buddy with Recycler. 1 Rare Candy, 1 Special Card. We have Switch and Surfer for switching, with Waitress for energy acceleration. And then we have the different energy types. I think this 40 here is the 40 we're going to go with. And here's the beauty of this. In between the 5 matches, we can always come back and be, oh, this doesn't feel right. Oh, we can always kind of adjust. But I don't think we're going to do very much else in terms of adjustments. Yeah, we can't really do anything with this Crobat that we pulled. Can't do anything with the Stun Tank or the Garbodor. This Quillfish is for consideration, for sure. The Quillfish and the Keldeo for consideration here, because they're really good early game attackers. But I don't think anything else really would be. So let's jump into the 5 and see how we do. Okay, game 1. We won the coin flip when we decided to go first. I kind of regret that now, seeing the Fennekin lead. But honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world. We can Hilda on turn 2 and start getting a Cincino powered up. We got the Pokepad off the top of the deck. So let's... Actually, I'm going to be smart for once. So Skrelp, Cincino, so all those pieces in the deck. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We got one with both Waitresses at our disposal here. We have the special red card for later. And we have 1 water energy prize when we have both access here. Okay. This isn't an awful kind of start situation for us. So I'm just going to grab the breaks in. I am going to attach the fire energy. And then we'll just pass because we can't really do anything else. So next turn we can Hilda, grab another energy. We can evolve into the Cincino. We can promote, and we can start just really just putting pressure with that EX. It's not the greatest. It is a slow burn for sure, but we have the Waitress to see if we can just do 80 turn 2, which would be fantastic. With the way the deck is, there's a good likelihood we're going to the Waitress. But we can't Waitress and Hilda. That's the thing. We can Waitress turn 3, though. I think that's more important. Yeah, and our opponent's doing the right thing by kind of powering up everything. They didn't really need the call for family. They had everything in their hand. So, but 4 prizes. So Lily is drawing for 6 the entire time. Also with 4 prizes, once a KO is taken by our opponent, the special red card gets turned on. Which is why that was such a great pull when we pulled it out of the packs. So I'm curious what our opponent's really just trying to play, unless they just forgot to end their turn. But I think, yeah. So us is going to retreat. We're going to Hilda. Oh, we have a hand, ladies and gentlemen. But we are going to be fine. So I'm just going to pull the water energy out of the deck. Our opponent probably is so confused on what we're doing. But I love it. And with the smooth coat, every single time they attack into us, there's a 50% chance that we just don't take damage. Which is the reason why I risk cutting out the Vulpix, is because I think we're going to just kind of hope that we get good smooth coat luck. But part of the strategy also is the fact that we have to load a lot of energy onto the Cincino. But I think that works with the fact we just have to build up a Delphox slowly. So we have a couple options. They're building up their Delphoxes on the bench. We're kind of building up our Cincino here. We see the Delphox in hand, so next turn they're definitely going to have at least one. And our Cincino getting built up does build up their Delphox in terms of their damage output. But again, there's a 50% chance that we don't get damaged. But we really need to get a Delphox up and running on this side as well. So let's see if they just kind of... I'm okay for a turn powering up a potential Delphox if we have to. But I don't want their Delphox to kind of go out running away. Like, we do definitely need to make sure that Cincino... There's a delicate balance between these two right here. Especially since we don't really have the Scrope, even though with the energy for the Dragalge. And they rare candied into a Delphox straight up on... Okay. Okay. This turn they're not attacking. There's no way. We can poke into this Delphox. I am more than okay with this. I am more than okay with this. So... do we want a Waitress? No, we're just going to Lily. I think we need a reset. I think we need a reset here with the Lily. And that actually was not the worst Lily. It's not the greatest, but we have a Hilda for next turn to get us an energy. But we're going to do another 40 here. That means next turn we can put one energy on Cincino and take the KO on the Delphox there. But we have to be very cautious. We have to find this balance here, right, between our Delphox and theirs. So, yeah, I had a feeling. But Smooth Coat can come to the rescue here. Okay, so they have all three Delphox in play. All three in play. And they're sacrificing the active. Okay. And they could, like, another piece here. They're down to 9 cards. We have to KO this Delphox this turn. Unless they somehow have a switch and they're going to just let this 80 sit on the bench for a Ninetales move later. They have a switch, they have the Surfer, okay. Okay. That Delibird would have been so great if we would have pulled it. We could have just put energy all over the place. A little too late for them to do that. Alright, first Smooth Coat, and they go through. Okay. How much damage did... Oh, wait. Oh, it went through the right way for us. Perfect, so we got a free turn off that. Buddy, before our supporter. That sounds great. I'm going to put the Scruff and the Fennekin into play here. Do we Waitress? Or do we Lily? I think we Lily because we have no energy. I want to Flare Magic just for more cards. Okay. This doesn't feel awful. It doesn't feel great. But we're going to put more energy into the deck. I want to grab a Pokepad for the last non-EX card there. So here's the question. Do we poke 80? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 3 is 150 before they add their energy. So they would have to kind of double accelerate. Or do we put it on here and really try to get... I think with the Hilda in hand, we're going to try to get the Mega Dragalge in play this turn. So we're going to poke. And then with the Hilda, we can just switch. And we can do 16 damage counters onto their Delphox, and there's nothing they can do. Like, I feel bad that we pulled so good. Like, we have the Dragalge Flex, we have the Cincino, we have the Delphox kit, and it really, all this build and battle is all about how good are your packs. So they held it just for an energy. That's interesting. So, the way everything's kind of set up right now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 150. If they put a 6, that's 180. That's still not enough. They're powering up a second Delphox. So they did the damage. So we see heads, it's good, but we're gonna actually just turn tail here. And we are going to again kind of just power up our bench, and power up bench by just putting evolutions in play. Let's Hilda. Let's grab just pieces because we don't want to get too aggressive on the draw. We only have 10 cards left in deck. But what we can do now is now we can just take KOs with 16 damage counters in between turns. And they have to somehow get through 330 HP worth of health here. So I think we're in a good spot now where we can slowly just start building up attackers. Because they have to go through the 330 HP Mega, which sucks for them. But pulling that Mega Dragology in that last pack was ultra clutch. Like, 3 of our 4 packs had an EX in it, which is unheard of orange. So they're going to Ninetales, probably 80 damage over onto us. I believe that's going to the active. Yeah, it goes onto our active. So they're going to take 90 damage off that Delphox, which is fine. I mean, they still have to push through a lot of energy. And as long as we're very smart and strategic about how much energy we put onto our field, their Delphoxes don't become a threat as much. So we just have to make sure that we... 330 minutes, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I put a 5 right now is 150, which is more... I don't know if I want to put energy down, quite honest with you. As much as I would love to have a secondary packer. I actually know we have to have a secondary packer in turn 2, which will turn into a Delphox. So let's do another poison. I think right here is like the absolute limit where I feel we need to kind of put energy until we really see the fact that the Dragology becomes a problem, like in terms of could it be KO'd. Because right now they're putting up their only attacker, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 150, 180. They have to have like a waitress they haven't used. They haven't used either waitress yet. So there's a chance they can pop off with a waitress this turn if they have it. And they're not. Okay, so we can be cautious. We don't want to see another 180 because then we're KO'd, but they're only taking 3 prizes, and then we'll have a prize back, because then 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just take it. We'll skip the energy this turn because we don't need it. And they have like no energy to modify for them. So if they have 2 energy, that's 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 150. That's KO. But then we're coming back with 120. And we actually, because of the Mega here, we actually might lose the prize trade. I was so confident of everything. We could easily just put up this Cincino here. And you know what? We kind of have to, right? Do a Cincino for a singular turn with special rare, cut them down. Not like we can do much with it, but... Let's thin some cards here. Let's... Flaring Magic for... There's the Waitress, awesome. We should be able to hit off this, we do. Because honestly, at this point, we need to just try to put some form of pressure on them. 5 times 3 is 150. We would have been 10 shy. So we kind of have to go all in on this. As much as that kind of seems weird, like if we flip coins, we win. Heads, we win. Tails, we lose. I'm okay with that. Because honestly, I'm just having fun with these EXs. Like, we took 3 prizes through poisoning, and then they just were able to chip away at us. That's the power of that Delphox kit, really. If they have another Ninetales swap, kudos to them on that, because then that's another way they can win. That attachment that I didn't do the previous turn definitely cost us. That's on me. That's on me just trying to be conservative. But I think our opponent has. Like, I'll be honest, I misplayed. Game 1 was misplay. Oh, no. Heads, we win. That is why we put this card in the deck, just so we can try to get a win every now and then. We can steal some of these things. So, you know what? Let's go out. Let's flex a little bit. And that's the power of the Waitress. Just being able to just accelerate for the Cincino, 80 damage out of nowhere. For the Delphox, 60 damage out of nowhere. That's the fun part of that. So we won game 1. The goal is to win 3. We're 1/3 of the way there. So we'll jump into another match. Or we have to. We have 4 more left. Okay, so we're going second. We have the Fennekin lead, which is great, because the Call of Family is a great attack. But the problem is we need an energy. So we hope we'll get an energy off the top deck. We can Pokepad for a Mincino, just to get the Cincino out turn 2. And then we'll kind of maybe get a Rare Candy combo if we just draw good. I don't know. We're seeing the Goomy Goodra deck here. I think that is like the third if I would power rank them. Oh, we got lucky. Let's be honest, we got lucky. So let's Pokepad for a Braixen, and then we will start pulling out some basics. So let's search here. We have the Dragalge. We have a good bit of supporters in hand. We have a lot of energy. So I think here is we do 1 Fennekin, and then we get our pieces. We can get Cincino out this next turn. We can get a Braixen out next turn. We see a Bergmite. Oh, okay. So they're going to do a walk. I mean, they've run water energy naturally. That makes sense. So are they going to Goomy next for 30 here? Because depending on how they attack and what we draw the top deck, it's really going to determine how I kind of build out my second turn here. Because I really, like, yes, it seems like, oh, I'm wanting to get the EXs in play. Yeah, that's the fun part, right? I don't want to just make this a traditional Delphox build. So we are going to... We got the energy, this darkness energy, so what I want to do is we're going to switch. I want to protect this energy for future, because they need a lot of energy to attack as well. And we're just going to start poking with a 240 EX with a 50% chance of not taking damage. Alright, so Guja makes us flip if we want to retreat. Now we used our switch, so we only have a Surfer left for switching. So it's gonna be interesting. They got the Avalugg. I'm curious on how many water energy in this deck they're running the Avalugg like that. So 160, discard the top card of their deck. That can be an issue, but we are going to kind of just, like, we're going to play big basics is really what we're doing here. So 160 means we have to have a good bit of energy in play here. Alright, so put that there. We have this switch card, Energy Recycler. There's only one, so that's not worth it yet. We'll put another Finnegan in play. We'll poke, take it, prize this turn. And then see what we can do here, because if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 150. They put another energy in play. We can Surfer if we can get our fire energy, obviously. We have to Hilda, so we guarantee our fire energy. They put that energy into play. So regardless if we take the hit, we don't, that's even better. They mill a card in their deck, I believe. Yeah. So I think we're going to switch, take out the Gudra, and then just kind of really cripple their board state. And they conceded. I think they had enough of the Mencino already. And I don't know what they were really thinking, like, in terms of why concede so quickly. But that's why we put the cards in the deck. That was fun. Let's go into Game 3. Game 3, we are going first. We lost a coin flip, which is fine. Finnegan, we have Surfer. Really don't have much else. Oh, there is that much else. How about we just get Buddy Buddy off the top of the deck? How about that? So let's grab the non-Finnegan pieces here, because it's really all we have at this point. We have the Dragalge in hand, so let's attach, and then let's pass our turn here. So Surfer is switched and drawn to UF5. We evolve. Hopefully the top deck is kind to us. That way we can kind of thin our hand down just enough. And we're facing off against a Crobat kit now. So we have to be very careful on how we attack. Now, the Dragalge can get around the Quillfish, so we won't be activating Poison Point. So I think that might be our kind of like our how we want to go about. And we just have to get a Darkness Energy. We run 2. We have the Surfer. We can do the switch next turn. And we can kind of just figure out what we want to do. Another really good piece of the Mega Dragalge versus this Crobat kit is the Crobat kit runs 2 Punk Helmets. And the Dragalge's attack bypasses it because it's not physical damage that we're doing. We're just placing poison damage counters. So part of their strategy kind of gets moved around based on that as well. So that's another advantage that the Mega Dragalge has here. But none of that really matters if we don't get the energy we need. Because the other attack doesn't do anything, because you don't run special energy in this kind of format. So if we play Surfer, we're drawing for 3 on a switch. I don't know if that's really advantageous right now. Or we can just... I think we'll call for Family, thin the deck out a little bit more. Basically, we have all our basics in play now, so only thing that's really in the deck now is Energy Trainers and Evolution cards. And then we could mainly retreat if we get the pieces we need next turn. Having a lower natural hand size does help as well. So they're putting their Zubats into play. They have a Golbat. So we have to be very cautious of this Golbat before it turns into a Crobat out of nowhere. So they're just attacking. So let's see what we get off the top deck here. Just another Fire Energy. I think we're just going to go for it. We don't get it this turn, but we have the Hilda for next turn. So I'm just going to start powering up and putting damage onto this fresh Finnegan. Because we can Hilda for a Delphox and a Darkness Energy. Start putting poison across their board and really just trying to get ahead of them. Because I'm not concerned until I start seeing Crobat. But if we have enough energy on our board, the Crobat is not as worrisome, because then we can just have straight damage to deal with that Crobat. So let's start getting our strategy up and running, our combo up and running here. So we're going to Pokepad for a breaks in. That's Hilda for a Delphox. And the darkness energy is prized. Both darkness energy prized. Okay. I think we just go all in on Delphox now. Like, we're gonna have to deal with some poison damage here, but... Oh. Doesn't feel great. Okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. Next turn, we're going to start putting pressure from a damage perspective. We just have to hope that kind of racing out. Like, if we can, honestly, getting the first KO gets us one of those darkness energies. But if us retreating and burning a water, oh man, that doesn't feel great at all, honestly. It doesn't. We have to. That's all we have to do. We just gotta have to be slow. I'll be curious when they want to pivot into the Crobat. I think they see the fact there's 1, 2, 3 energy on my side, 3 energy on their side. That's 6 energy. That's 180. That's KO. If they retreat and burn 1 energy, that's still KO. So we have to kind of just keep energy on board here. And I think we have to take the first prize because we need to start hunting. We just have to start hunting for prizes here. Yeah, we're doing 210. That's going to drop down to 180. They're probably going to try to confuse us, which is fine. Okay, that's fine. If I were them, I would promote this other Quillfish and just do more damage with Venusaur and protect this Crobat for another turn. But they might want to have the Crobat in the active so they can manipulate their top deck. But we have a Hilda, so we could always do... We have a Switch in the deck still. So we kind of just, we have an option, potentially. We can always Lily to see what we refresh and just get 6 and kind of put some cards back in the deck because we burn so many so quickly. Because I can also Hilda for a Delphox. Put the Delphox. I've burned 2. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 150. Crobat's only 130 if they put up the Crobat, so we could do that. But they're giving us a Zubat, which is interesting. So that gives us time to kind of build up our board. Because I'm willing to give up 1 Delphox. Maybe they're trying to build this up, because the kit runs 3 Crobat. So they're going to have the opportunity. But again, if they attack us with Supersonic, we are confused. We are going to have to flip through the confusion. And I don't know if we want to do that, but we really don't want to keep on retreating and burning our energies. Even though we do have 1 energy recycler. So what I'm thinking next turn is we'll Lilies and kind of reset our hand to see where we're at. But they timed out. I'm not sure if that was a glitch or what. So I'm going to attach the energy because at the end of the day, that does power up the Delphox. And I'm basically going to reset the hand. It's still set. Yeah. Okay, so we're kind of at this point, we're kind of happy where we're at. I'll take the prize. I really can't do much. I can't pass because my opponent decided to time out. Like, I want to advance my board state a little bit here. There's the darkness energy, so we have a way around the poison point and all that kind of stuff. So let's see what happens. If our opponent just times out, the game makes the forced concession. That's unfortunate, because this was actually a really good back and forth for a point. So that's what it seems like. Either the game crashed on them, they walked away for something, but it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But let me know, guys, how are you guys? Have you guys gone into this building battle? Are you enjoying it? Is it a good substitute for people who can't make in-person pre-releases like myself? I used to love going to pre-releases with my wife and my friends, and there's not really a good league around me that I can go to, plus my daughter's too young to do this stuff right now. Yep, our opponent became inactive, so game 3, we're 3-0. So we got our token back, that's a good thing. But let's jump into the 4th match and see if we can get someone who doesn't quit. Okay, so we're going second. We have a Mincino and a Sprout with the 2 buddies, so basically we have a call for family without actually having to call for family. So if we can get an energy off the top deck for either, preferably this upcoming turn, then we're going to be in a really good spot with this Held Up Man. But we'll see what we can do. We're running against another Delphox kit. We see the Deoxys. Deoxys is a great card. 30 damage, drawn 2/5, free retreat. So that's a really good, powerful card. It's a really good free retreater, where you can, it's a good pivoter and a good hand resetter. It has a lot of flexibility. Okay, so we are just gonna start thinning out the hand. I think that is pretty much all of our basics. So we're just gonna put it on the board. And then we'll Hilda this turn. We'll grab the Cincino. We'll grab a Fire Energy. We're gonna do that. I don't really want to take down because I really... Actually, maybe we do, because then that puts the 100 HP breaks into range, and there's no way for them to really just do 60 damage to us out of nowhere, because they missed their attachment. And then we can evolve next turn, use to hopefully hit the Waitress with what we have in deck. I think we should be able to hit that Waitress. Ah, okay. We'll definitely need the Waitress now, because we want to try to pop off for multiple energies here. If we can top deck energy, that'd be fantastic. Not quite. Okay. That's fine, I guess. You really just have to say it that way. I'm just going to start poking for 80. Seeing that our opponent hasn't evolved really much. And seeing if this Deoxys runs away for a Delphox or for a Ninetales, then we'll have to really start focusing on the Ninetales health. But I think that's might be what our opponent's doing. Yep, 120, which means we just need to find a 3rd energy. But they are going to put 80 onto us and bypass our ability. But I just didn't want to not put pressure on our opponent. So they're going to get a breaks in. Get a Fire Energy, okay. So they're setting up for next turn. I'd be really shocked if they don't retreat into the Ninetales and push 80 onto us. Yep, that's exactly what they're doing. So we'll see what our top deck is, because we have a low hand size. An energy, I'm going to kind of just bite the bullet here. We're going to knock out the Ninetales. The Ninetales is by far their biggest threat because it can bypass the Smooth Coat. Now, I'm not saying that a Delphox isn't an issue, because if they grab if they get a Delphox and they KO us, we're done. Our undefeated streak is over. But the Smooth Coat can buy us a turn. But they whiff on the Waitress. Oh, that hurts. But they had the energy in hand. They were just probably trying to buff the damage. But they have the damage. With 6 energy, that's enough. They just have to hope that we flip tails on the Smooth Coat. And it really depends on if they even want to try that right now. Or they don't have the Delphox in hand. And they don't. Okay, so we're getting another turn of reprieve here. With the damage added to that. So we can knock out the Deoxys, get another prize, kind of race out ahead. Especially because we're giving a Cincino. We're really not racing out too far ahead. But this Lily could not have come at a better time. So let's Lily. Let's Delphox. Or breaks in Delphox. Let's pull up another breaks in. Let's Flaring Magic for 5. And I think that's really where our aggression for our hand kind of stops right here. And we really don't have to rare candy. I don't think there's a need to rare candy. So we're going to take another prize. I think part of what we need to kind of focus on is building up a Mega Dragalge potentially. Because we have, potentially we're going to lose 3 energy. They're going to have, there's only going to be 4 total energy on the board really. If we don't get the knockout. Because I'm okay if we have to just retreat. Okay, we're getting red carded down to... Okay. Both energies that we needed with a potential switch. Now, if we can get a fire energy with a switch and we survive, that would be even better. But right now, we're just kind of missing just enough energy not to do anything. But they can take this, you know, they can knock out a Delphox and we can power up a Mega Dragalge, and then they're not really at a spot where they can do anything. Because they would have to, we're making them take 6 prizes at that route, which is something we could potentially focus on. We can make them just take a drawn out game. Now, if they don't KO us, you know, we can do a hard switch, and we can just Energizing Storm for the KO. While potentially setting up a Dragalge if we pull a fire energy off the top deck. Which 1, 2, 3, 4 out of like our 8 or 7. So we still have energy in play. The Waitress they hit, which means you're going to be doing more damage. So, buddy, they're thinning out. That, I would say that red card, very smart by our opponent. We had a massive hand side. We had a lot of resources. Now, unfortunately for them, we have resources here to kind of power up, and we can draw out what we need to depending on the coin flips. I'm mostly concerned on potentially seeing another Ninetales come out. Tails, they KO. Okay. So, there's a lot of energy that just got lost in terms of damage calcs. But I'm okay with this. Because then it buys us time here, and then we're bypassing damage. So I think that's what we're going to do. Unfortunately, we just don't have what we were hoping for in terms of the energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they just need nothing. So we're going to intern. We're going to give them this Delphox, putting them down to a singular prize. And then we're going to end up promoting a Mega Dragalge here. And forcing them to take care of a Mega Dragalge. Because it does enough to poison tick the Delphox to death. So let's see what our opponent's going to try to pull off here. Because they've already red carded us. I doubt they pulled 2 red cards. And they didn't. So now we're at a point now. We're about to take 60 damage off their board. I don't want to do a whole bunch of draw this turn. So we're going to take damage off their board. We're going to take a threat off their board as well. And I just don't see how they're going to do 330. So, just again, the way we got lucky with our packs. I'm not even trying to say this is skill. This is taking advantage of what the RNG gave us in terms of the pack pulls. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 150. No real gusting in the format, so there's nothing to worry about there. How many of their waitresses have they used? They used both waitresses, so there's no real acceleration coming out this turn. I'm curious on what they're trying to find in terms of like how they're trying to get out of this position. Unless they were trying to just go out on their own terms, I don't know. So there's 180, we have 330. We're going to do 160 in poison damage. So. But the kudos to our opponent. The Delphox kit is just bonkers strong. So we're not going to play around. We're just going to do the KO, get the last prize, and squeak out another victory and get into the game, into our last match, to see if we can just get more goodies on the prizing and see how we do. Alright, so we're going first. We're leading with a Fennekin. We have a Buddy, we have a Pokepad, so we're not getting punished for going first. Mulligan set up for our opponent, because we did have the Mulligan once. But I like the energy types. We're facing against a Goomy deck. That's great. And then let's see what we have here. So we have all the evolution pieces here. With 1 darkness energy prized. So I think, yeah, we'll still kind of go and kind of stretch stuff out here. Grab the Pokepad here. Grab a Breaksin for next turn. I could have Rare Candied. I should have grabbed the Delphox since I had the Rare Candy in hand. I didn't think of that. And we'll end turn. That's a oopsie by me. I wasn't paying attention. I was so focused on, like, I forget the one Rare Candy exists in the kit. Let's put it that way. That's just me not paying attention. Not playing optimally. If we top deck the Delphox, we're not punished. But we also don't have a second fire energy right now. But we could, yeah. Sequencing, Devin bad. I get it. So we'll see what our opponent's doing here. But if our opponent, do they just like walk away? That would be 3 matches now. Their opponent just like stops playing, which is frustrating. Yeah, we didn't even like do much. So we're not punished. Hopefully with us thinning the deck out here. Yeah, they just concede. They just gave up. I don't know why. We didn't even really start anything. So that's match 5. That's, I guess, part of playing an online ladder situation. Is just people just conceding and just doing what they do. So we went 5-0. Let's look at the rewards we got and kind of look over everything. So let's click this little reward map. We finished our rewards. And from there, we get 50 trainer points. Actually, we get a lot of trainer points. There's our token back. Those are all the cards we collected in the actual... I skipped over opening all the packs. We got 3 packs. We ended up getting a Mega Ninja from the pack. We ended up getting 2 water energy. I believe those would be hollow water energy from the pack. We got the promo. Ended up getting a Delibird. We got Mega Floette from the prize packs. We got another Mega Dragalge from the prize packs. Just kind of scrolling through because I know what we pulled. So, but there's the build and battle. I honestly had a lot of fun playing it there. I mean, obviously, and let's not ignore the elephant in the room. The packs I pulled building this deck, 2 Cinccino's, 1 Mega Dragalge, getting the evolution pieces, really allowed me to have more fun because I was playing a more OP version of the Delphox kit. And that was part of the experience. That's always part of a build and battle experience, is it's all based on if you get really lucky in your packs. And that is something that I'm not going to ignore. That's something I took advantage of in these 5 matches here. But I think if you want to do something different that isn't the casual or ranked standard, you definitely jump into this. Like, going back here, like, yes, we just recuperated our token, but it looks like, from what I can see, they're giving you a good bit of tokens. Like, we have 14 on the account and really haven't done anything. So, they give you pieces to play with. They give you a lot of rank rewards here. Like we're able... We started the day at 68. I checked before we did recordings. And we got all the way up to 71. We got 69, 70, 71, 72. All from playing one series of build and battle. So, got some more tokens. Got some cards here. So, I would say if you want to try something different, definitely go into the build and battle. If you are kind of just done facing Dragapults on the ladder, go and do build and battle. If you want to just re-enjoy pre-releases, go do build and battle. If you do not enjoy the fact that you're putting RNG in your hands, the reason why I say that, I did one build and battle prior to recording this little set because I wanted to see how the experience was for myself before going into this video. And I pulled a Crobat kit. I pulled a Mega Greninja, but I didn't pull any of the free evolutions. And basically, I was playing just a Crobat kit because I didn't pull anything else. And it wasn't fun. Like, I was on the other end of what our opponents were experiencing with us today. And I'm fully aware that is how the experience can be, but that's just the way it is. And I hate to say it that way. Is part of the build and battle experience is all about those packs. And I don't know how else to really say it. If you get good RNG and get really lucky like we did with the Delphox and those 3 EXs, you're probably going to have a good time. Look, nice Beedrill. But if you don't pull anything, you're not going to have a good time. And that's okay to say that. Going through the last little bits of here. Ooh, nice SIR, AZ Tranquility there. So, but there's my little soliloquy. That's my little piece on it. I'm enjoying it when they rotate, as we saw in the build and battle. Build and battle will rotate in 15 hours from the day of recording. So the next set will be not Chaos Rising, which will be another fun little experiment where you relive the pre-releases of other sets, which is always fun. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna go kind of relax. I'm gonna go honestly just edit this video and get this out for you guys. But thank you for all those who made it this far into the video. I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the different type of content we've been doing. Hopefully you want to see more of these build and battle kind of experiences and kind of seeing how it can be. If you don't want to risk your tokens, I'll be more than happy to risk mine. I'll be doing them every single time a set rotates. I'll do one time. And we'll kind of go from there. But with that being said, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I had fun playing it, obviously, as you could tell. Plus, it RNG, but other than that, it was just a really fun experience. And we're just gonna go enjoy some more cards, enjoy more of the Chaos Rising, and get ready for more decks. As always, have fun playing those sneaky decks, guys. Bye.